what I thought of speaking or sharing my views on is about the official languages policy vis-a-vis the research topic that you have chosen: language rights, gender equality, and women's empowerment. If you take the Constitution, the official languages policy is laid down in chapter 4, and you also can see that the official languages commission contains certain details about how the policy could be implemented. And there are other laws which have established NLEAP and so on, which may contain some of these practical implementational tools for ensuring that the official languages policy is rolled out in the country. However, having said that one, you will see these policies as stated in the Constitution and in the laws of the country do not focus attention on the research that you are embarked upon. That is gender equality and women's empowerment. We all know the laws in this country are generally not gender neutral, or it is mainly focused on one gender with a particular clause in the interpretation ordinance saying that when one gender is used, it will be denoted to mean other gender as well, unless there is specific decision or inapplicability in that meaning. So, in a sense, the official languages policy is not designed with gender equality and women's empowerment in mind, particularly chapter 4 of the Constitution, which speaks about language. However, chapter 3, which deals with fundamental rights, has Article 12, which admits of special treatment for women and children. So that could be made use of along with chapter 4 to promote gender equality and women's empowerment when service delivery by the state takes place. So language rights of the people could be specially focused on gender equality and women's empowerment. That will not detract from chapter 4 of the Constitution. So if that is accepted and that is the case, then we need to identify what strategy we should come up with to ensure this women's empowerment as well as gender equality is given implementation in the actual real rollout of government services. I reflected on this and I thought of sharing at least 4 areas where the researchers may focus on when you carry out your research. First, I would suggest that the researchers should draw a distinction between state service rollout in rural areas and urban areas. That is, your research should find out how the service delivery is affecting the women in the rural areas as opposed to those in the urban area. Whether they are affected more than the urban area women, and whether gender inequality in the carrying out of official languages policy has a terrible impact on the women in the rural areas than in the urban areas. Here again, you can focus when you deal with the rural area. There are women-headed families who may be at the receiving end since the official languages policy is insensitive to women or gender equality. So that is an area where you could focus on and see. It can be in Klinochi, it can be in Monraville. Both women may find it difficult because it is language rights rollout is not sensitive to this particular element. Second, I would also request you to focus on the services rolled out by the center as opposed to the services rolled out by government's extension offices like GA's office, Divisional Secretary's office, or GN office. Because in those areas, those officers will try to provide the services in the language of that particular area. But there are instances where services are provided from the center. They don't go through an extension office or a GS office or divisional secretary's office. Say, for instance, the police services, the education department services towards the national schools. There, they may not go through the provincial or district or divisional level institutions, and that may have an impact on women, particularly in the distance areas. So that is another focus you should keep in mind with regard to services delivered by the center, but through their government agents or district secretaries or divisional secretaries or through GN or even other offices where the extension offices are there, right? Third, I would like you to focus on areas where women are highly concentrated in employment. They are the mainstay of certain sectors. Say, for instance, the garment sector, the plantation sector, whether it is rubber or it is tea, those sectors. And how they are affected by non-implementation of the language policy in a gender-sensitive manner. So you need to see how this is having an impact on sectors where women are the mainstay. And finally, I would also like you to focus attention on non-banking financial institutions which are involved in providing microfinance loans. Here again, sometimes language policy is insensitive to gender, particularly in the rural areas, and they are expected to sign documentation without knowing what they are signing, and then they are at the receiving end. So much so, some people take their lives. So these are 4 areas I thought you could think about focusing along with other areas which you have designed, because these areas may need certain sensitivity of gender equality and women empowerment.